motorbike scene, which
Yeah.
is way better. And Keanu Reeves saw that film and he said, I want to shoot that for John Wick 3.
What's up, guys? It's Kels here, the homie Ashwa,
Yo!
and we're here for Film Foo.
Chant de la terre, chez nous le soleil se couche et quelque part il se lève, ouais. Y'a certaines choses qui ne changent pas. Les esprits en présent remplissent si tu sens pas. Le cycle de la nature, la rotation de la terre. Chez nous le soleil se couche et quelque part il se lève, ouais. Y'a certaines choses qui ne changent pas. Les esprits en présent remplissent si tu sens pas. La soirée teste mes habilités. Il me suffit d'une merde que je perde de stabilité. La vie devient de plus en plus dure. Normal qu'on gère nos activités, qu'on cherche la facilité au moment.
You can visit my socials. Get on my Instagram at aswa_han. You can go visit my website at aswahan.com.
If you're cinephiles like us and you love movies, you love cinema, you love action, you love all types of movie news, come here, go down the link in the description, hit the subscribe button, okay? Follow Ashwa on his channel, follow me on Dudes Brewing, and stay up to date on all the latest happenings for all the film and TV things that are coming your way.
Yeah, it looks like both of us are wearing our own brands.
Yeah. We're both wearing our brands and stuff. I got a Kelvin one too as well, but I'm repping Dudes because Dudes is more of the pod.
As my professor back at university would say, we are walking billboards.
Yes, we are on brand. On brand.
On brand.
Yes,
cool.
Yes.
So, I think the aim for all our episodes is let's stick to film. And let's try not, well, part of it is that I get carried away, but then just if we get sidetracked, then pull me back into the film world.
Oh, same. If I get sidetracked, just reel me in as well.
Yeah.
So equally
Cool.
so, equally. Yeah.
What's new? What's happening in your neck of the woods?
My neck of the woods. What's new? What's been going on? So yeah, I did attend a acting course. Just as an actor, it's a very healthy thing to always keep yourself skilled with, and sharp with your skills and what they call your toolbox. And so you can always learn something, even if you feel like you know everything, whatever that's supposed to mean. But yeah, I attended an acting course with Anthony Mindel from Equity New Zealand, which is Equity is like a union. They're similar to SAG-AFTRA in the United States. So SAG is the Screen Actors Guild. It's the big thing for the Hollywood section, and Equity is more of like a UK, New Zealand, Australia type union. And so I attended acting course through Anthony Mindel, and that was pretty awesome. That was this past Thursday, and had a good time. I picked up on a few skills. Did a scene from The Morning Show, which is a Apple TV television series, very dramatic, and Jennifer Aniston. I'm actually in season 1, so you might catch me in season 1. But yeah.
Yeah, I can catch you in season 1. And also, what's that music video you said you made a cameo in?
Oh yeah, that was the Post Malone one from last episode. Yeah. So yeah, I'm in Posty Malone's video of Young Thug called Goodbyes. So you catch me in that one as well.
So for the few of you who are watching, if you're fans of ours, go watch that music video and create a meme out of Kelvin here. And
set me up, aren't you? Set me up. Making memes.
Hey, if I was in front of the camera, then I'm okay as well.
You're in the camera right now.
Exactly.
In the camera right now.
Hey, why does it do that?
Well, what?
This what? Look at that.
It's like effects. Yeah, you've got all these special effects. That's you, man. Big baller.
I don't know how. Why? Is that Zoom or is that from my phone? Because I'm using my iPhone as the webcam.
I'm not sure. I think iPhone does have some new gestures in it, but
Let's
assuming
see.
we're on Zoom, I think that might be Zoom oriented. Who knows? Yeah, yeah, no, that's iPhone. That's
What
iPhone.
about the fireworks?
I don't know. I know iPhone is the thumbs up, and then there's another new gesture that it does. If you do certain things, like certain gestures come out. So if you wave your hands like this, you'll see something maybe. Yeah, there
There's
you go.
some
Peace out.
confetti. There you
Yeah,
go.
yeah. Ah,
All
I
right.
think that might have been Apple's rollout for their VR goggles or something, which aren't
Mm.
selling as well. They're not doing well at all.
I do want to try it out though. I am curious how
Oh
it's
yeah,
like.
a
Like,
100%.
yeah. I want to see if
Yeah,
you kind of do have that kind of cinema-ish experience, or if you somewhat get, yeah. Because you can like
yeah. I
enlarge the screen to the size you want, and yeah,
yeah.
it looks pretty immersive from from the demonstrations I've seen.
Yeah, you can do that also with PlayStation VR too. So you can
Mm,
and well the screen you can pretty much watch movies in IMAX like using the
mm.
PlayStation VR too. So you get that, but I think it may be more. I'm not for sure which one is more sharper or not. Um
I'm pretty sure the Apple one's sharp, but I think it's 5K for every camera. And I think in terms of the tracking is also the most accurate as well. That's why it's got that what $4,000 price tag. So yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, but yeah, unfortunately it's just I think it's the technology is great, but I think this dystopian cyberpunk world of thinking there's going to be some sort of VR headset that's going to have us glued down to a chair. I just don't see it at this moment. And I
I
think
just think the
they're,
technology is not good enough to the point of where they want it
oh,
to be. Because I think
oh, that
firstly
face,
it's heavy. It's heavy.
yeah,
That's one of the big drawbacks. And also the battery life isn't great. It's like 2 hours or so, and it's like a separate battery component.
yeah,
Um, but you know, it's only going to get better from the very first from this first version. I mean, if you look at the Apple Watch, that was pretty crap. I mean, the first version, and then it just got better because I think they found their, I guess, niche. They started to focus more on health and
yeah.
tracking and all that stuff.
We're
But
getting off topic.
I know. But just quickly, I just stayed away from the Apple Watch because I don't want to get extra notifications. Like I already get enough on my phone. Imagine getting it on the wrist. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just not it's not practical to think someone's going to be wearing a headset for like longer than 30 minutes to 2 hours. Like it's just it looks awesome in a cyberpunk movie, but in practicality, no one's body is going to turn into a complete blob. Just like because they're just like they got to live in this VR world. I mean, it's got
Mm.
to be super. The whole thing has to look like it's in Unreal Engine 5.
Mm.
It's just otherwise, it's just no one's gonna sit with a VR head. Even at that, you still got to eat. You still got to take a poo. You still got to do your normal human bodily thing. So it's just
Virtual
yeah,
poo. Virtual
yeah. They're still
toilets.
gonna yeah. And the FaceTime on that looks pretty awful as well too. It
Oh
looks
yeah.
like
It's
what
what's
Zuckerberg
that
was trying
called?
to do in that metaverse.
The uncanny valley look.
Yeah, it's uncanny VR. It's just
Yeah.
it's
Not
not a good
yet.
look. It reminds me when they were really trying to advance in like in movies they were trying to advance in CGI, and they were in that movie The Polar Express that it had a
Mm.
lot of uncanny CGI moments
Yeah.
where the face and the eyes and things weren't moving quite in
Hmm.
natural sequence and it just looked bizarre.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Um,
Zuckerberg lost a lot of money in that metaverse trying to get people to go live in that thing. So
that guy, I don't know. That guy ain't
yeah,
human. But anyway, today apparently
yeah.
the Deadpool the new Deadpool trailer is gonna be released sometime today. So
Okay.
I'm looking forward to it because it has Wolverine. So
Yeah.
Wolverine's I think Wolverine's my favorite superhero character, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's pretty cool and it's good to see Hugh Jackman back in his role as Logan, which, like he did say he would he would stop after his last it was called Logan, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember he said like
They
that was
say
it, like his yeah.
yeah. They say that until their money starts drying up, and then they go,
Mm,
"Wait, I need to get on this Disney Marvel train. I need to get more of this money."
yeah. Because even recently I think Robert Downey Jr. also um
Yeah.
announced
The
that
money.
that he'd be open to play Tony Stark. I'll be like, no, just let it
The
go.
life.
You ended off perfectly. Let's not do a Michael Jordan and return to the Wizards, Your
It.
time as the Chicago Bulls and finishing off on the sixth win, it's a perfect ending. Let's not ruin it.
I think it's the lifestyle that they live. I think financially they were living off money that they were getting pre 2019, and that was when Hollywood was at a huge profit margin. And so now that money's drying up, I think now they're going, oh, I think I think I could do another outing. It's just
But
really like, no, they were running out of money. So
But don't you think he's like earned enough from all the Marvel films, and he was in Oppenheimer, and
no, no. And if you're in film and TV, if you're an actor, eventually you have to pivot into producing if you really want to see some real money, because that's where the money is at. It's either in producing or getting some sort of back end deal, which I think he did have some back end deals that were going um, with Iron Man, Robert Downey Jr. I know he did sign some sort of he didn't get money up front, which is generally like a buyout or just some sort of fee. What some actors will do is they'll ask for money on the back end, which means like, hey, give me a piece of the it's essentially like the stock in the film. Essentially, you're just
mm,
getting a part of the IP and getting paid off residuals in that capacity. Um, so which is a smart thing to do.
yeah,
And I know he had something like that with Iron Man. He did, because
yeah,
I remember that was Chadwick Boseman's big issue with Black Panther, was they didn't offer him any back end deals
mm,
with that film, and he was quite upset about it after the film. He had already signed up to shoot it and then do promo, but during the promo tour, he wasn't too happy with that because he
mm,
knew all these other Marvel actors were making bank because they did back end deals, and he didn't do anything of that
mm,
sort. So yeah. So if you want to make money as an actor, eventually you either have to do back end deals or you also have to go into producing. And running a production company is much more lucrative, which is what Margot Robbie started doing around 2017, 2018 when she started her production company. And it wasn't doing well because she
mm.
they were trying to make her into a star for a very long time, and nothing she was doing was hitting. She literally just got her first hit off Barbie, which is an existing IP, not hard to
Mm.
sell. And right now she's trying to do a Monopoly movie. I don't know if you heard about that.
What? No,
Yes, yeah. So
really?
Margot Robbie wants to produce the Monopoly movie. So she's like, oh, now I made money off this other Hasbro property. I did well with Barbie. Let's how about Monopoly now?
Is
So
she the main character? Can't be. It's that old dude,
I
right? The
I would
Monopoly
I would
dude.
hope not, but I'm pretty sure she'll probably do a self insert to a certain degree. But yeah,
No, that's a dumb idea. It's gonna be like Battleship. Just don't do it. Don't do it off board games. Like Barbie, yes, I get, but it's just like
it has it has potential depending on how they execute it. But yeah, like Barbie was her first hit movie. Like her
there
last
are
movie
better.
before that was
Yeah,
was Babylon, and Babylon failed tragically. Babylon was
I haven't
supposed
seen
to be about
Babylon. But yeah, I heard it wasn't that good.
I don't. Yeah, I wouldn't. I didn't care to see it because I think it was beyond. It was past its time. It's one of those movies, those ensemble movies that would have done well back in 2012,
Mm,
2010. So it reminded me of American Hustle. Where you had Bradley Cooper and
mm,
and that's also a movie I didn't really watch, but it's an ensemble film. And ensemble films with like, hey, it's got Bradley Cooper and it's got Channing Tatum, and those movies for
they,
me,
yeah,
it
kind of
seems
like
so formulaic now
Ocean's
that,
11.
yeah, it's so formulaic now that it's just like screaming, please watch us because we have all of these people that are supposed to be important. And
Yeah,
I
but you
think
can
that's
say this. Yeah, but that's the same with all the what is it, like the Avengers films. I mean, you can say the same with
well,
other films,
not
was
the
there?
the stars don't sell the Avengers film. The Avengers film
Yeah,
sold off.
yeah, it's more the characters, I guess.
It's the character. But yeah,
Yeah.
but I mean, like, I mean, films that were supposed to be built off star power.
Mm-mm.
That Valentine's Day movie that came out back in like 2008, and it had all these actors in it. It had Halle Berry, Bradley Cooper, Taylor Swift made an appearance.
Oh,
Those
really?
movies, if you do it now, yeah,
Mm,
it had Jamie Foxx, it had Jessica Biel. It was one of those movies where it had all these Hollywood
mm,
people making these like guest appearances. To do that
mm.
now feels hacky and cheap. It feels very
Yeah.
hacky and cheap. And so I think that's why Babylon didn't do well, because it was doing the same thing.
Yeah,
And
and
it
you
was
got a
like
bunch
more,
of egos in one room, like they all want their screen time, right? So yeah.
yeah,
I think it
Brad,
will
I
be
think
hard
Brad,
to because I think it'll be hard to coordinate something like that. Like if you had a bunch
no,
of
no, I don't even think it's a matter of the production. I don't think it's a matter of them shooting it and it's because it's too many personalities on one set. No, I don't think that's the problem. I think the problem is people don't care to see that anymore because no
mm,
one at this point is, people aren't enamored with Star anymore. Like where an ensemble film will sell.
maybe, maybe.
Name me a collaborative movie that's really done well. I think the one maybe is Knives Out. Maybe I don't know if that's done really well, but it did
It's
okay.
okay.
Outside of that, you can't. If you can find an ensemble movie that's done really well with a bunch of stars, that's rare.
mm, there is. I just can't think of one on top of my head. It's just the nature of this podcast. When you put on the spot, it's always like you go blank. So that's my excuse, my poor excuse. So any other films that you're looking forward to that are coming out?
Let me think. What is coming
I'm
out that
I'm
I'm
looking
looking
forward
for?
to
Because
Furiosa.
uh, the film
Just
slate
because
is very slim this year. There's not as many movies coming out this year
mm,
as it was in 2023 because of the writer strike. So to say what movie I'm looking forward to coming out, hmm. um, I don't. There's really nothing.
did you see the trailer, the new
What
M
is
Night
coming?
Shyamalan's film Trap?
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah.
His movies are always interesting.
Yeah, the trailer looks quite, but his concepts are quite interesting, and his films are
Yeah,
usually self-funded as well. So
yeah, and
I
I
think
like watching his. Yeah, he seems more like a mid tier. Um, well, he's a big budget actor, but what I mean, he does is mid budget films, not mid tier, but
mm,
he does mid budget films, but mid budget films that feel like it might have had a lot of more money put into it. And he does a
mm.
good execution on those films because I admire him because he's trying concepts. He always has a twist.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
his whole
But
the
but there was a
twist.
period, but there was a period where he was making like bad films after bad films. Like I think it started off with yeah, I think it was Lady in the Water, and then The Last Airbender, and then that one with Will Smith, that sci-fi one. And then there was that film which he self-funded, and then from there things started to go the up and up for him. What was that film?
Yeah,
It's like,
he did one with Mark Wahlberg. Um,
yeah, that wasn't that great, I thought. There's this
yeah, I
one.
thought it was I thought it was okay, but it was confusing because
Um, Let me find it. The film that.
spoilers, spoilers. That film with Mark Wahlberg, it had this moment in there where pretty much it was kind of revealing the townspeople had been
Hmm.
taken over by some sort of I guess it was like pollen or something. There was
Yeah,
some sort of chemical or something that took over
yeah.
the town,
The
and it was being
happening.
spread. It was being spread, I think, through pollen and through the air. But there were a lot of like weird. It was called The Happening. That's just I was going to
Yeah,
say there's some weird happen. That movie was called The Happening. The irony,
yeah.
but
But the
but
but
yeah,
I
it
think,
just wasn't
yeah.
quite
Yeah, but the film
like
I'm talking about that got him back on track. I don't know if you've seen it. It's called The Visit. It's like these two grandchildren. They go to see their grandparents basically, and there's a yeah. I won't give out any more because yeah, but it's really good. Like low
yeah.
budget, but very well executed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think he had two movies before that though. He had I didn't watch Glass, but the other movie that he did that was
Oh,
like
I did watch
the
Glass.
the other film,
It
the
wasn't
one
Split.
that
So you're talking about Split and
Split.
Unbreakable, right? Yeah.
Yeah, Split.
These two
Not
films I
necessarily
liked,
Unbreakable.
but
Yeah,
Glass
I
was
did. That's
a big disappointment for me
yeah,
anyway.
I didn't see. Yeah, I didn't watch. I was kind of disinterested in it because I knew it was him trying to conceptualize, okay, I can pull in these three characters and create an alternate superhero universe. And
Yeah.
superhero was kind of booming at the moment. So I knew it was going to be sort of, I wouldn't say hacky, but it was just him trying something because it was popular.
No,
Hollywood
but
tends to
no, like I
milk that.
think the film was doing quite good up until like the third act. It just yeah, it just things just
Drop the
went.
drop the nuts.
Yep. Yeah, but before
Fall,
that, it was
fall
good. The concept was good, where the story was heading, the characters, everything was good. But then just that third act just ruined everything. And then, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, M. Night Shyamalan. The Trap
Yeah.
is looks
So
pretty
he's got a new
interesting.
movie. Yeah, so he's got a new movie. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I saw the trailer for that as well, and that looks
Hmm.
pretty interesting. So I'm always
Yeah,
curious about his projects, and definitely keen to check it out for sure.
yeah. It's got Josh Hartnett, which I haven't seen. The only film I remember him was in Pearl Harbor.
Yeah, I don't think
Josh
yeah
Hartnett.
yeah Josh Hartnett was big all throughout the late '90s, early 2000s, and then I think up until maybe like 2010, and then he just kind of went like in
I think he
a
was meant
totally
to be a
different
big deal, but then I think he made
direction.
bad career choices, a bit like what's his name? Gerald Butler.
Gerard Butler. It
Yeah.
it it could be considered bad career choices, or it could be considered that they got invited into certain rooms and didn't want to go through with certain things because they get
Mm,
offers all the time, but a lot of times, sometimes those offers comes with like, "Hey, meet us at this place. Hey, this is what we want to push in this movie. Do you want to be a part of it?" He might go, "Oh, this kind of doesn't align with my personal beliefs, so no, not really."
mm,
And then they kind of get shadow banned for a bit. You know, it's kind
yeah.
of like Keanu. He turned down Speed 2, and then he essentially got blacklisted for 10 years.
Mm. I don't know. I find that there are some actors who have made some good career choices. Even like for example, like Matthew McConaughey, who was there was a period where he was not doing so good. He was doing like these kind of B grade movies, and then he decided to do more like was it like serious, more independent films. What's that film he was in? He like he lost a ton of weight, and then I think from
Talking about the
then
Lincoln
on,
Lawyer.
no, there's a film he plays like a redneck dude, and he's like super skinny.
Yeah,
Um,
Well, he's technically a Southerner in every film that he's in.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I know there's one called The Lincoln Lawyer, and he was an HIV positive guy or something. He was a car dealer at the same time, and the film did really well, like on from a critically acclaimed point of view.
Hmm.
Um,
I don't think it was called
yeah,
that. Let me find it. Oh, I think it's Dallas Buyers Club. I think that's it.
yeah, Dallas Buyers Club.
Yeah,
That's one of
Dallas
them.
Buyers Club.
And
Yeah.
another one was the Lincoln Lawyer. Yeah,
Okay.
both of those films
Yeah,
kind of
and then he
had
started
some.
to and then he was like, people started to consider him more as a actor's actor. And then he was doing like True Detective and Interstellar and you
Well,
know.
he always did serious roles
No,
initially.
but
He
before
was doing
that,
serious.
yeah, but the films prior to that weren't very good. Like Lose a Guy in 10 Days, you know.
No,
Uh, this
that's like later. That's later in his career. I'm talking about during the '90s. He did a
during the
few. He
90s,
did a
like a
few.
time, like I think it was A Time to Kill. Like he was starting to like the one with Sandra Bullock
Yes,
and
yeah, and Samuel
Samuel
Jackson.
Jackson. I think that was good, but then after that, I think his career just kind of like he didn't make very good career choices, I thought. And
Yeah,
then,
no, I don't think it's a bad career choice. What he did was they typecasted him because he was an attractive
hmm,
guy with abs, and he decided to do rom-coms. I don't think that was a bad career choice. I just think he just accepted the check at the time for being typecast is not a bad
no,
thing. Some people,
but like I remember reading an interview from him where he was talking about where he could have made two choices where one he could have gone more mainstream and done these kind of typical mainstream films and not be considered like a actor's actor, or he could have made the other. But the choice he decided to do was to go the route where he's not going to make as much money, but it's more like these serious roles, like and that's the course he took.
yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know. From my understanding of his career was he started off with serious roles, and
Mm.
then towards the 2000s, rom-coms were popular. And he was just like, okay, cool. Like I'll be the hot guy, surfer dude on the beach and Southern surfer. He's like, I'll play that into that, archetype because ladies like to see it. And he was like, I like ladies, nothing wrong with that. And it's a fun,
Yeah.
easy job. You're on vacation. Technically, you're filming in Malibu or the Bahamas. You're in some island and you're just having fun. So he took a lot of those roles and then he decided himself he wanted to show to dive back more into his acting range. He wanted to go more into the independent market, which that independent market could be considered B grade. Like doing the
Mm.
Lincoln Lawyer and Dallas Buyers Club, um, a lot of those films were initially pretty much straight to DVD. Pretty much, Lincoln
Yeah,
Lawyer was
but
straight to
but I
DVD.
think
Uh,
taking those
but
roles,
it,
people
but
started to think of him as more of a serious actor than just your typical mainstream, Jason Statham slash Gerald Butler, kind of
yeah, which
talent, which I think he was trying to escape from. And in that interview that I read, he was saying, he could have kept going that route, but you know. But now, but looking back at it now with the choices he's made, like he was saying, now the roles have now the films that he really wants to like Interstellar and all these other films are starting to, come toward like he's starting to get these opportunities now. And so
yeah. So M
um
Night Shyamalan, Matthew was doing lower budget films at one point. So yeah. So but yeah, I was just trying to say Matthew started out serious in the '90s. Early 2000s, he ended up doing the rom coms, mid 2000s rom coms, and he just accepted it because it's fun to do. I mean, it's low stress and it's easy, and you're getting paid. You're a working actor. All that matters for actors a lot of times, like they're working. But yeah, but he decided to dive in the indie circuit, and a lot of those movies were considered B grade, but they got him critical acclaim. Um, and I think either or is both good. Like I don't look at him as more prestigious for doing Interstellar, but I just look at him as like he just went on a journey on his career and decided to pivot into doing more dramatic roles because he probably felt it was at a time in his life where he wanted to do that. And also rom-coms uh after 2008 took a nosedive. The industry, I think, intentionally sank rom coms. It killed Vince Vaughn's career. It killed a lot of comedians' careers because they decided to get off the rom com and comedy trail. I think they were tired of presenting men and women as like almost like uh enjoying themselves together, and they wanted to
Mm,
do this like I don't know. They were like, oh, that's too toxic. These men talking about, love and typical humor and pregnancy and, that knocked up movie. I think the industry was trying to go in a different direction and it went real far after, what was it? The Me Too and Oscar So White thing and Donald Trump. Everything went political in Hollywood. And I think it screwed up the industry significantly. So yeah.
okay, did I give you your time and space? A good pat on the shoulder to myself. Yeah. I see where you're getting at, but somewhat agree, and some areas I disagree. Like I think, yeah, the rom-com maybe it did give him work, so on and so forth. But when I look at my own career, it's similar thing where sure I can take these commercials for consumer products like food and stuff, but that's not where I want to be. As, but I guess that in terms of where my career is at,
You
it
start.
takes me, yeah, it takes me some time to get to that that genre or style that I want to get to. So in the meantime, I have to hustle and do the stuff I don't want to do, like let's say rom-coms, right? And I don't know, that's how I see um his career, I guess, path. But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, if you were you still going? Yeah.
No, no, and so that's why I was just clarifying in terms of that interview that I read where he was saying, that he could have kept continuing doing these rom-coms, all these mainstream. Because I think he did another one called Gold's Rush or something as well.
Yeah, it was
Um,
Fool's Gold or something.
oh,
Yeah.
Fool's Gold. Um,
Yeah.
not to get sidetracked, but I was doing this short film, right? And I shot it on film, and so I was buying the short ends, and the short ends were from that film. Yeah,
Ah. Oh,
yeah.
that's cool.
So yeah, there's a little tidbit. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, but like Fool's Gold was fun, and like you said, like as a director, you start off certain you start off shooting certain content, and then you might move into there's some that start from doing real estate videos or something before they even move into commercial. So
Mm.
there's some that don't even go into music videos or commercial. They're like, oh, I'm shooting real estate videos, so they're shooting houses. But you start somewhere, and eventually you pivot, you evolve, but even in the mainstream that he was doing with Fool's Gold, like I don't look at it as like less important, but you do want to elevate yourself and show more of your skill craft. So that's sort of what he did. He just decided to pivot at a moment where he could show more of his skill craft. And it was a smart time to do it because rom coms, like I said, were dying out around 2008, 2009. The teen comedies were also dying. I think the last one was Project X, and that was like, I think 2011, 2012, 2011.
What's Project
So
X?
that was the film about these three kids, uh which is so funny. You look at a lot of these teen movies that were popular in the mid 2000s, like Super Bad and um um Pineapple Express, and almost the entire main cast were all
Mm,
Jewish. I see it now, but I couldn't see it then when I was younger, and I was just like, now I look at it, I'm like, they were just putting all their own people on it. I was like, that's so interesting. But yeah, it was three Jewish kids throwing a party. They didn't explicitly say they were Jewish, but you could tell they would say little
Mm,
things in these films, talk about Shabbat, things that are in their culture that were just like subliminal. But it was three kids throwing a house party. It was this massive, massive house party, and it was a big deal because I think after the movie was loosely based off some party in Australia that had went. It was a house party that went absolutely insane. Some kid, his parents went out of town. They threw a house party. Just like
mm,
a car ended up in the backyard in the swimming pool, and it was this whole thing. It went all over Aussie news, and apparently the movie, the script writers had based that idea loosely off of it. But that movie was like, it's just one of those house party or teen party films, and it was at a
mm,
time where boys were being boys would like boobs and the typical stuff before they started using toxic masculinity.
mm.
Yeah, and that film was the last of its era, like the super bad era and Pineapple Express, and there was another movie called Sex Drive. It was all teen comedy things, and yeah, the industry kind of like let's get rid of that, and yeah,
Hmm.
so everything became about a cinematic universe after freaking Avengers. Yeah.
You know, I haven't I for the longest time, like for someone who's born and raised in Australia, I kind of didn't like a lot of Aussie films and still kind of majority I don't like, but
Yeah.
there are times there are a really good one would come out. And I just wanted to know, have you seen a film called Talk to Me?
Talk to me.
It
Is it
came out
new or
last year. It came out last
no?
year.
Was it an Aussie
So,
film?
mm, it doesn't look like an Aussie film though. Like when
Mm.
you watch it, it looks American and looks like it's got some budget, but it is really good, surprisingly good. Like I won't say anything. Like you should go watch it blind
All right.
and it's and yeah, and then all these other like all of my other film friends, like they were like, "Oh, this film's so good." I was like, "Yeah, yeah." I can't believe it's from Australia. So yeah, I just
Well,
wanted to point that
yeah,
out. It's called
they've
Talk
got
to
good
Me.
filmmakers. They got good filmmakers in Aussie. You got George
Yeah.
Miller, and
Yeah, yeah.
you gotta
But
yeah.
this one's like I guess it's in the ballpark of Scream, but the concept's really clever, I have to say.
Is it
The
so? Is
the,
it
the
horror?
Yeah, it's horror. But it's not like yeah, it's horror. It's not like a psychological horror, but I would say it's in the ballpark of Scream slash
Yeah, you said Scream, so it's
um
more of a slasher.
yeah. Not
Yeah.
it's not slasher, sorry. It's just that the actors are like in their 20-ish, 20s.
Mhm.
Uh yeah. I think yeah, it's best just to go in and watch it without not knowing what the premise is. And yeah, it's really good. Very well executed, I'll say. And the performances as well, very good. So yeah,
Yeah. Look into that, man.
yeah,
No,
talk to me.
Aussie has a few iconic films, Romper Stomper,
Mm,
just certain films that are part of like Aussie culture. I mean, it's same in New Zealand. Like Once Were Warriors here is
yep,
like that's a big deal, about
yep,
the Maori, biker life and living in poverty and you know, so that there's some cult films that come out from Aussie, but Aussie, what
yeah.
I do like about Australia is they're independent films. Like I said, they get their films done. Where New Zealand
Mm,
and Aussies aren't really afraid to try different genres. They're not afraid to try horror, not afraid to try action, even if it's on a TV series.
mm,
But they're not afraid to touch on different genres. With Kiwi New Zealand films, oh my god, they're either period pieces,
mm.
which is like another Anzac film, or or they're literally what they call dramedies. It's always like a road trip
Uh,
film, and
I hate
it's
that.
about
I hate that
some
title, dramedy.
oh yeah, it'll be a Maori boy gets lost, and a Caucasian Pacquiao family finds him, and it's like he gets saved and brought into the house, and it becomes this whole thing. So it's just
Dramedy. Is it
very
dramedy or
repetitive
dramedy?
dramedy, dramedy. It's
But
drama and
Americans would
comedy
I know, but would
slash together.
Americans say dramedy or dramedy?
Uh, I, dramedy, dramedy.
Dramedy. Okay.
They would say dramedy. Yeah. Um,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, yeah,
America doesn't have a lot of dramedies. There
yeah.
is
Yeah.
one that I think really put me off, man. Uh, it was Adam Sandler's film Click. It
Oh
was
yeah, I've
Click.
seen, yeah. That
Click is
was
considered a dramedy.
no, that's just
So
Adam Sandler. It's just comedy.
no, but it went into drama. It turned like the first half of the film is comedy, and then it turns into this drama, like serious and people crying. And
Can
it threw
you
me off the first time I saw it. I was like, wait, I'm laughing, and now this is turned serious. And I don't know. I don't know. But click.
but then
I'm
but
so
then what
we you go.
oh, no, because I'm just trying to then would you think someone like Bruce Almighty or Truman Show is dramedy?
No, Bruce Almighty and the Truman Show. Yeah, that sort of dramedy.
Yeah.
Um, but Bruce Almighty, no, because it was enough. It was enough comedy in it that it needed some little serious moments to like
Mm,
add some heart to it. But it was heart where it wasn't like you felt like you wanted to cry. It was like, oh, something went really bad. I
yeah.
felt that way when I watched Click. I felt like I was watching a comedy movie and I just found out somebody has cancer, which is not what happened in the movie, but it was sort of like it felt
I
like
see what you
that.
mean.
And I was like, this is kind of off. So
Right, right.
especially when you're used to seeing Adam Sandler from Anger Management and not just Happy Gilmore, but Anger Management, where he's just like hilarious and Jack Nicholson. Have you seen that movie?
Click?
No, oh not Click. Anger Management with Jack
Yeah, yeah,
Nicholson, and
yeah.
that's I think that's my favorite Adam Sandler film.
Really?
Like that, yeah, with him and Jack Nicholson, and he was in the Anger Management class. Like that movie is
What's
freaking
what's my
hilarious.
favorite? I still like Happy Gilmore.
Yeah,
Um,
I think that would be my second.
I
That would
like
be
his
my second.
serious films as well. I mean, these days he's been taking more of a serious, like more serious roles.
See, you make it
Um,
sound more prestigious. He's being taken more of a serious.
Serious. No, what's that? Uncut Gems.
Yeah, yeah.
That film stressed me out. It
But he was playing
stressed.
a Jew. He was playing something he knows. He's playing a Jewish jewelry dealer. Jewelry.
Yeah,
He was playing himself.
that film
It's not too
stressed
hard to
me
tap
out,
into
man.
that.
I
Yeah,
cannot
yeah.
watch
No,
that film.
it was more of how it was directed. The
Mm,
style of the directing made it
yeah.
stressful. Yeah, which that's a artistic like thing, and that was cool.
Mm.
That um, it sort of reminds me of like tense moments on. I think we might have talked about this, but did you see Mr. Robot?
Yeah, I think I watched up until maybe season two, and then it just got
Yeah.
weird. It just got,
Now,
yeah.
two isn't it's bet two is very slow. It was a
Mm.
very slow season, and it some people dropped off because it was so slow.
I don't
But
mind the
season
slow, but I just felt it wasn't going anywhere.
it the it yeah it got confusing, and
Mm.
there's a reveal towards the end of season two that make well I think it was like episode 8 of season two where you're just like, oh, that's what they were doing, and then it makes sense. But
Mm.
until then, it's such a slow burn, and it's all these concept episodes that it's just like, what are they doing? It it was very confusing. So and
Mm.
the director was trying different things per episode, but the first season and technically all throughout, the way he would frame certain shots where it's off center, where it's like Elliot's head is like on the corner. So we're on the camera right now. So if I move myself like here and I'm talking, you have all this deep background, and it's very unsettling to watch because you see people moving the entire time. The background's blurred out, so you don't know if there's someone going to be walking up to him to grab him because this happened on a few moments of the episode.
Mm.
on certain episodes, and so they intentionally made scenes very tense by shooting it off center, where the subject is literally on the corner, and you just see deep background and make you feel like you should not see that much going on.
Mm.
So yeah, so it's all those stylistic decisions. Euphoria is another show that they messed around with like concept camera angle shots and things just to give a different. And it's a show I haven't watched, but I watched some behind the scenes footage on the. It's weird I haven't watched it because um I am partly in like one of the episodes, I think, from
Oh, there
season
we go. Another
one
meme.
of Euphoria. Yeah, another Euphoria. So so yeah, but there's certain shots that they did using camera rigs just to try different things out. I like when directors try stuff. So yeah, I get what Uncut Gems why that would have made you feel like because it's
No,
just the way it's captured.
because what intrigued me about Mr. Robot was like at the start, or especially the first season, it kind of reminded me of Donnie Darko a bit,
Yeah,
just the weirdness. But then,
yeah.
yeah, but then it just, yeah, and then from second season onwards, it just went like, where's this heading? I feel like I'm not gonna get,
It's
answers.
it's
So,
it's worth finishing and getting to. Man, there's an episode in season 3 that was like it's just like pure gold. How
yeah.
they it's yeah.
Mm,
Yeah, there's one. I think is this 3 or 4? I think it's season 3, but the whole episode pretty much takes place on an overhead view that looks like GTA, like Grand Theft Auto 1 or Grand Theft Auto
mm,
2, and it's so enjoyable to watch. Like like I wanted to do a comedy movie, which essentially keeps going from the normal view of like what you would see a movie, and then it just keeps jumping into that overhead view
mm,
when they get into a vehicle and just like this GTA thing and then goes back out from it.
mm.
It was so fun to watch that overhead view of how they shot everything.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And yeah. So, yeah, but it's a very tense scene because it's like it's like a fire alarm is going off and there's people storming a building and you've got people with guns and it was really cool, really cool.
Mm.
And I'm sure John Wick chapter 4 took their idea because there's something similar in John Wick chapter
Yeah,
4.
yeah. When he's
Yeah,
moving from room to room. Yeah. But that
they
was
took it.
cool.
They took that from Mr. Robot. Mr.
Yeah.
Robot did it first.
But I'm sure others have
So
done something similar. But yeah.
I
But
can't recall any other movie with an overhead view. I can
but
recall
I
a
think
game.
but I think if you do it like out in the open streets, it would be quite in terms of like technically it would be quite achievable. You can simply do that by using an FPV and just tracking the subject.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
the hardest part will
Yeah,
be coordinating everything, making sure the lighting is all nice as well.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's Mr. Robot and John Wick were both indoors.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah. Have you
So
have
it's
you watched have you watched the movie? It's a Korean movie called The Villainous.
nah, nah.
So,
A lot of Korean cinema.
mm,
I haven't been fully introduced like
uh,
to like I haven't. You know.
okay, you are gonna love this film. Um, there's parts of it you're gonna
Uh,
hate as well, which I'll explain. Okay, so in John Wick Chapter 3, there's that motorbike sequence, the famous motorbike sequence. Well, that
mhm.
was well, that was inspired by a Korean film called The Villainous. There's a motorbike scene which
Yeah.
is way better. And Keanu Reeves saw that film and he said, I want to shoot that for John Wick
Mhm.
3. Now
Yeah.
that film, the opening, so the beginning of the film, there's a first person shooter view shot, like a scene.
Perspective. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's crazy. And the whole film has like just these impossible angles, impossible like how the camera moved from here to here. It just gets your head scratching. But then the only downside of this film. Like the action set pieces are amazing. I know the balloons, but it it falls in that dramedy what is it? Thing where it's
Drop.
this action,
Yeah,
yeah, it's like action, and then all of a sudden it becomes like this slow romantic thing, and then it goes
that's
back to
fun.
the action. But then a lot of people like and myself were complaining that, it doesn't
Yeah.
fit because it feels like a Korean drama all of a sudden, you know? It's like this
Okay.
doesn't belong in this film. Why is it here?
Yeah.
But check
Yeah,
out the
that
villainous
was right.
just for the action sequences. It is mind blowing even to this day. Yeah,
Yeah. Now, the
yeah,
only movie I've ever seen where it's jumped into a first person view was Doom when they did the
yeah,
Doom movie
yeah.
back in I think, 05, oh 06, with Carl Urban, he's
We,
in The Boys now.
yeah,
He's
and
a
him and The
he
Rock, right? The
yeah,
Rock's
yeah.
in it.
Me and Carl had the same acting coach. Like my acting coach was
Mm,
Carl Urban's acting coach for like 2.5, 3 years.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, yeah, Carl and The Rock. The Rock did a good job in that film. Like
He had a
I
small
enjoyed
role,
because
I think.
nah, um, he was like the chief commander for the Marines
Mm,
in that film, and then I don't know if I should spoil it, spoilers, but he turns into a bad guy. He did a
yeah,
heck of a
I think
job
he
being a bad guy. The
I
Rock
think
is very
he's like a
enjoyable as a
mix
villain.
of a mutant slash human,
Yeah.
right?
Oh well, yeah. Towards the end of the film, it's more of a mix of a mutant, but
Oh shit, did I give it
he did a
away?
yeah. No, it's fine. I said spoilers,
Yeah.
so they didn't catch that. That means skip.
Yeah.
But no, but he did a good job being a bad guy, and I was like, yo, The Rock should play a villain more often. Um, which he sort of felt that way when he was in Fast Five. He sort of felt like in between. You didn't know if he was like
Well,
good, or
but
he
he
was there to
plays a
rescue
very
people.
sorry, but he plays a good villain in the WWE. He's better as a villain than he is a face. So
Yeah,
I think it
yeah,
comes naturally.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's part of his real personality. I'm joking. You never know. But no, he's done a great job being a villain, man. And yeah, he should have done it more often in films. But I think he strived very hard to copy the Arnold Schwarzenegger formula. He even said himself he wanted to be like the Will Smith, even though he's this big muscly dude. He wanted to be like the Will Smith of Hollywood, which now in 2020 hindsight, it's not very flattering replication of what you would like to be, but essentially it's
Mm.
just trying to be the perfect action star.
Hmm.
Everything in your life looks perfect, and really it's
Yeah, I
not.
think
But
he
um,
still has a long, he's got, a good few years to, you know, churn out some good films.
maybe he's got one coming up with Chris Evans. I think it's coming out through Netflix. It's called Red Band or something.
Oh, Netflix film. Oh no,
Yeah, but you
I don't like Netflix
I
films.
I know, I know, I know.
Yeah.
But it's a rinse, wash, repeat, rinse, wash, repeat.
Hmm.
Um, like his other movie, Red Notice, that he did with what's his name, Ryan Reynolds. So that's what I mean about
Oh
certain
yeah.
films that are just like, hey, we've got this star. Hey, we got this star. Gal Gadot's in it. It's like, really? Like, when has Gal Gadot
Hmm.
actually been known for like acting? She's not really that bomb of an actress.
Well, I
She's a
think she got a
model.
big break from Wonder Woman, right? So,
Nah.
um,
She got a break from Fast and Furious.
yeah, but she wasn't like a main lead, but I'm saying as a main lead, it was from Wonder Woman.
But that could have been anybody. You know what I mean? That would
I
have
think she
broke
did a good,
anybody.
I think she did a good job. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm not saying she did a bad job, but I'm saying that could have been anybody. Literally, it could have been anybody they put in that role. It still would have been successful. It's
Yeah,
not
it would have
like
been
she brought a gravity of humanity to her acting role, and it's just like,
yeah,
okay, hold up shield, throw shield. It's
Yeah, but she had a good look though, you know. Apart
yeah, she's
from
attractive.
yeah,
She was a model turned actress. She's attractive for sure.
yeah.
So but yeah,
But who would you
but
have had if not her?
I don't think about it that deeply when it comes to superhero movies or even Wonder Woman. I just it's not like, oh man, I would have got like Melissa Barrera or something because she would have brought a whole nother level of emotion to the film. It's what you're still Wonder Woman. It's like, bro, relax.
I know, but I guess Zack Snyder did somewhat made it cool-ish. I mean, Wonder Woman, if you look at the Wonder Woman outfit, looks pretty campy, but with the new outfit and all, and with Gal Gadot, yeah, I think she has a good look as Wonder Woman, but
And yeah, she looks good. She's great. She's a brunette and looks hot.
yeah,
And Wonder Woman's outfit. There's no confusion behind
come
that.
on, give
So
her a
I'm
bit
just
more
saying,
credit
like,
than than just the visuals. Come on.
I mean, it's no. Yeah, I'm being honest though. It's
Mm.
like this is like trying to give props to Scarlett Johansson for being like,
Okay, it goes in the show.
yeah, or or the black shadow lady. She fulfilled her part as a superhero. It's not because she's got this gravatas of deep depth she brought to the character. It's like
Of
hold
course.
up shield, hold
I
up
mean,
shield, say
yeah, it's an
how,
action
be a girl
mainstream
for a little bit.
popcorn. Yeah,
Yeah.
but
So yeah. So when that's her big break, and then you compare that to her being in Red Notice, it's like, yeah,
yeah, uh, I
forgettable,
still,
forgettable.
I still think she's a
It's a
good
movie you
Wonder
play in the
Woman.
background while you're cooking, which is not a movie. That's content. That is
Yeah,
content. That's not a movie. So
Wonder
this is the same with
Woman.
The Rock's new film. It's gonna be content.
But I did like The Rock's character in Fast and Furious. Is it
Yeah,
Hobbs?
look, that's
The character he
yeah,
played?
it's Fast and Furious. It's different. It's a little
Hobbs.
different. It went to theaters. It's not going
Yeah,
straight to
yeah,
Netflix is the new DVD bin. That's
yeah.
essentially what Netflix is.
But I don't know what it is. Like, why can't they spit out good films though? Is it because they just like no time, just pump out money and then, I want it finished by this date and it needs to be released by this date. Don't worry about the
Yeah,
effects
they call it
being perfect.
it's called content. They're
Mm,
not they weren't focused on quality. I think they're starting to now slowly because they've realized how much money they lost over the years that they've been doing this. Um, but it's they're not focused on quality because they just need something on the platform. So I think now, in order to try to enhance what they're doing, to just focus more on quality, I think Netflix is probably pivoting more towards, from what I can see, is buying international films so that they can now curate their original properties in a more um, better quality light, where they're not spending as much money on that. So
mm,
they're keen right now to pick up foreign films and films that are shot elsewhere, from Korea, from Australia,
mm.
different markets. They'll even set up studios down there to just make content. So I think that's going to be their new angle, is the international market. And also right now, what's good about, as a director, you being a director, if you're shooting your own project and you want to pitch it to Netflix, it's much easier to do now because the AI voice software now, like if you want to dub a movie over now, you can just dub a whole movie now and technically in AI. Whereas before, you had to find somebody from South
Mm.
America, find somebody from China, find someone from Japan. You had to find people in each territory to dub over the movie. Where now you can just do all the dubbing through AI, which is going to
I
save people on huge cost.
I hate dubbing. I just like listening to the original voice and just reading
Yeah,
the
bro,
subtitles.
I know I hate dubbing personally as well too,
Yeah.
but it's a requirement with Netflix. If you do sell a film or through them,
Mm.
you I think you have to have it dubbed in, I think it's 12 languages. It's 12
Mm.
languages per your project. So for one film, you've got to get it dubbed over in those 12 different languages in order for them to buy your film. But it's I think though I think they help pay for that as well too. But now AI is there.
Mm.
I don't think any of that's gonna be much of an issue. But yeah, I love movies in an original language.
Yeah, it's so
Um,
different, eh? Like especially if you watch like Asian films and you hear the English version, it just starts to look like a comedy. I'm just like, why are
yeah,
they talking in that weird accent? Like,
yeah, because it misses like the nuances of the voice and the
yeah.
depth. Like you would have to match that, and I think in dubbing sessions they're less interested or maybe not even concerned about it, but just due to time constraints or budget, about trying to hit that emotional depth. So, which may be possible with AI. I don't know. I don't know if AI is when you dub over whether it'll pick up those nuances.
But it
But
still sounds comedic, like especially if it's set in ancient China, let's say, and then they start and they're speaking in English, and then they always have like this stereotypical accent, like, "Oh, Master Chan, why are you, you know?" It's just like,
mhm,
then it becomes comedy, and I can't take the scene seriously.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting to see how AI does if you take the whole voice track from the entire film, put the voice
Mm,
track through AI, and see what it comes up with, whether it would match that tonality thing. Because if
mm,
it matches the tonality, then it might be acceptable. Because some people need it, depending on what country they're coming from. You never
yeah.
know. But but yeah, I prefer the original voice as and
Mm,
just reads. If I have to read subtitles, so be it. But
yeah.
the downside to the subtitles as well too is that you can be focused on that and miss the nuances in the face and
Mm,
the performance and stuff. So it's the catch 22 either way. It's a sacrifice either way.
mm.
So but I love the original voice, man. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Um,
Uh,
so yeah, we had mentioned Zack Snyder. He's getting spanked right now for that Rebel Moon Part Two.
the first one was already really bad, and the second one, I watched 10 minutes of it, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna waste another 2 or so
So
hours.
you actually
Oh,
tried to watch it.
because I love sci-fi, right? And
Me too. Me too.
and plus I love the world building, but I feel the majority of his sets are in studio. I don't feel like he's in a real outdoor area with natural sunlight, and everything feels like a set. Everything feels like some, like
It's not
LED
on
screen behind
location.
him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not on location.
And
Yeah.
the stories, the characters, because he said that this originally was a Star Wars film that he
Star
wanted to
Wars pitch.
pitch, and it's nothing like Star Wars. None of the characters are like Star Wars. It's like, yeah.
You know what was even more? Oh, you go. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut
No,
you
no,
off.
no.
Go ahead.
I had
Yeah,
my say.
but I was gonna say what was even more embarrassing is he came out with his interview. I think maybe a week ago or this past week, and he's explaining his idea to have Leonardo DiCaprio play Lex Luthor in the
Oh,
Superman uh, versus Batman. Um,
hmm.
yeah, Batman versus Superman. And he said, "Oh, Leo looked at the script and said, well, you've got some good concepts in mind, but
He won't take it.
I don't know. I don't know about this." You know,
No.
and that was Leo's subtle way of going, "You want me in a bald cap playing a villain?" Like it just
Hmm.
the casting idea, even who he got to play the Lex Luthor in the film, which was the kid from
Oh yeah,
those
the
teen
the the
those teen
Facebook dude.
comedies. The same, literally the same thing I was talking about. Just miscast.
Eisenhower or something.
Jesse Eisenberg.
Yeah,
Anytime
Eisen
you hear
something.
Bergstein,
Yeah, there we go.
you,
The
you know what
birds.
community.
The Bergs. Yeah.
But yeah, but he had the Jesse kid in there, and it was just off, just off with the casting. Yeah,
Yeah.
so
It
he's
was
got
very unnatural,
yeah.
I think.
I laughed when I watched the Rebel Moon trailer, the very first one,
Oh, why?
because I saw
The
some
trailer?
things in it. The trailer, when I saw the very first trailer for Rebel Moon Part One, I busted out laughing because I would catch this, but he had these people in these black hoods with an eye on
Mm.
it, and
Mm.
it was just it's all Freemason symbols like that were all throughout his trailer, and I was just like,
Mm.
I noticed it, but I was just like, this is so cheap. Like he couldn't come up with a cool idea. So like, let's have them wear the Illuminati pyramid with an eyeball on it. And it's like, and then he had the villain dressed like a Nazi. Like he was like in
Oh
almost like
yeah,
this
yeah,
Nazi
yeah.
uniform with like, I'm just like, bro, come on, dude. I know you're in Hollywood and you're trying to get credit because a certain community has a lot of equity stake in it, but it's like, dude, you have the villain in a Nazi uniform, like, and then the strong female character with a shaved head. I'm just like,
Mm.
just all these tropes. I'm like, dude, women don't watch action films. Like, they don't. Like, so
Mm.
who are you going for? It's okay to have a female lead being like an action lady, like, but that can't be just, you can't have it so on the nose that she's like shaved head. It's just like you're doing everything to take away her femininity to
Mm.
prove that she's strong. It was like no one wants to see Sigourney Weaver Alien 3 version.
Mm.
We don't need to see that for her to prove she's tough. Like that girl is very attractive, and he tried to make her look unattractive
Mm.
as she was kicking butt. And I was just like, what was the point in
I just
that?
thought the story was just nothing was original about the story. Like
But
the whole
yeah,
thing was like you're pitching this idea to be like this Star Wars film, and I was like, I know this story. It's been told 100 times. It's like like okay, you did. You know what it is? It's the Force Awakens. It's Finn when he was the stormtrooper and he realizes, oh shit, I'm doing bad shit. I'm gonna go to the good side and fight off my so-called oppressors. So yeah.
yeah, yeah, it was very Hollywood. It was probably some allegory in there about Republicans and Trump somewhere down the line. That some
Mm,
analogy that someone can, and that's what I mean. This post-political Hollywood has fucked up. Excuse my language. It's screwed up everything because
mm,
they can't get it out of. They can't stop self-inserting their own politics and then social
mm,
engineering inside, and that's why people are also distracted by like the strong female character archetype that they're trying to push. When it's like she can still be a lady and just happen to kick butt,
mm.
like that. You can't be so on the nose to make that like okay, now we shaved her head, we're gonna make her look like she's flat chested and just like why? It's sort of the
Mm.
controversy with Stellar Blade, the video game that's coming out, and
I
there's
know.
a lot of these woke companies complaining about her having boobs and her having too perfect of a butt because girls' butts aren't that perfect, and it's
But the
like
actual
there are
model, but the
there
actual
are some
model
girls with
was yeah,
there are there are girls with nice butts and nice
yeah.
boobs, and it equates like so you
But
know
but, but
so
the actual model that was doing the motion capture it looks stunning, you know.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, so yeah,
So
so so it's just this whole yeah thing in the industry at the moment. So yeah, so I think that was distracting with Rebel Moon, along with yeah the fact that doesn't have the story beats are predictable. I mean, but he did mimic this movie off an idea, off another property. So unfortunately, that's too on the nose that he wanted to replicate a sci-fi and then also replicate it now to the point where the story beats are obvious. So he's he's one of those directors. I think we talked about that last time, where he's concept over over story, essentially.
But like,
Yeah,
he did another Netflix film prior to this, that zombie one.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. The
but not not
Army of the
okay.
Dead.
But that film I enjoyed as a
Yeah,
like for entertainment. Like I wasn't bored of it at all. Knowing that,
yeah,
yeah, it's not a great film, but I thought it was
yeah.
fun. But this one's not fun. And I was like, man, he should have had fun. Like he didn't have studio
It's
execs
just
telling him to do this and that, you know? He had freedom, and what happened? Like maybe he had too much freedom and he
too much
needs
freedom. He needs people to rein him in. And then he made the critique on an interview. I think it was with Wired magazine. It's on YouTube of him saying he doesn't like taking critiques from the fans. He's just like,
Mm.
if you read too much on the internet, he's like, it just clouds your mind. And I wouldn't suggest reading on the internet. Just like, oh, so you mean sitting in your own hubris and not being able to take feedback from people who are willing to pay you? You're an idiot. You're an
Mm.
idiot. You listen
Yeah.
to the people willing to pay you, they're telling you what they like. So Sonic is doing very well for that very reason. Keanu Reeves is now going to voice Shadow the Hedgehog.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know, yeah, and Idris Elba is playing Knuckles on the TV series, and apparently that's doing well. But if you listen to the fans, you can get a long IP out of it. Zack Snyder wanted to do 6 parts of this shit, so
It's
I
it's
don't know
it's
how
dead
that's
in the
going to
water
happen.
already. No, there's no way.
Yeah, yeah, and just the setting. I don't understand the whole farm thing. That it's
Mm.
just this, it was like farm Nazis with aliens, and it's like, what
Yeah, it's
is?
weird. Like
Yeah, it's just very weird choices. It's like,
like
well, we're gonna have
like the
her working
tra
at a barn.
yeah, because
Like, why?
the first trailer intrigued me because of sci-fi and there was a hint of fantasy as well. I was like, okay, I wonder, let's see how he can handle this. But then, oh, it's boring at the end of the day. So
Zack Snyder being full of Zack Snyder. Yeah,
yeah, but
but
I enjoyed Army of the Dead. That
yeah,
was
Army of the
fun.
Dead. Yeah, no, it seemed like it was fun. I haven't watched it. It seemed like it was a fun movie. I kind of
Yeah.
got put off because of the Vegas thing because I was seeing certain aesthetics that were in the first Suicide Squad movie with
Uh-huh.
like the marketing because like
Yeah.
Army of the Dead, they had all these neon lights in it. I was like, this feels a little bit too Joker
But
Suicide Squad.
it was done really well. Like it
Yeah,
was believable, like how the whole set design, and yeah, they had a zombie tiger, man, which is something
yeah,
cool, I thought,
different.
and
Yeah,
well
he's
executed.
apparently he's got green light another movie now called World of the Dead,
I don't know.
which I don't know if that's a sequel to the Army of the Dead or
Or the
Dawn of
other
the
one,
Dead.
the one of the dead.
Yeah, yeah. Dawn of the Dead was my favorite movie by him. That was a real that
Yeah,
movie was good.
yeah,
That first
really
movie.
good.
Yeah, yeah. That
Yeah,
could have gone into
especially that opening scene, like with the family and the daughter, like
yeah.
that that little girl acted really well in that
All
scene.
all of it, man. That part, the part where he ended up at the end of the film, where the boat ended
Mm.
up on this island, like that was a
Yeah.
grim. That was a grim ending. I loved it. I was like, oh, this is grim. Like
All
you feel
that
like they
hard
made it.
work.
Yeah, all that hard work to end up on an
All that
island
hard
with the
work.
same people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like bad endings. I really enjoy bad endings. Like
Sometimes.
Ter- Terminator 3. Like I like the ending of that
How
film.
did that? Oh, okay. No, but how
He
about
ended up at
films
a,
like, how about what's that film? The Mist? Come on.
what's it called?
The Mist.
The
I think it's
Mist.
called The Mist.
The
Yeah.
one from what was it like 03 or that was
The
like
Mist.
2006. It's an older film.
It's a
It's the one with Kevin Bacon and
I don't think that it's
yeah,
directed by who's the guy who did The Green Mile, and I think it's him.
yeah,
The
it
Mist.
was
Hold
like
on.
a 2006 film. I think it was like with
Oh
Kevin
yeah, yeah, The
Bacon and
Mist, The Mist. Is it Kevin Bacon?
that's
No, it's
the
not Kevin
Mist.
Bacon.
We're checking now on this
It
movie.
has the most depressing ending And yeah,
There's I think Thomas Jane is in it. Is that
yeah,
Thomas
yeah, you
Jane?
should watch it. And like, if that's your thing,
Yeah, yeah. So it's Thomas Jane. He's a great actor, bro.
mm.
He's so underused, man.
No, the film's good up until the very end. There's no the payoff is just it's just all that build up and then yeah.
Yeah, no, I've always heard it. I always heard it as that being sort of like an iconic movie. I
Yeah,
probably have it. Probably have it. I just
because the
haven't
ending
watched it.
is very controversial in terms of just how depressing it was.
Oh
The way
man,
they ended it.
I'll watch it then. No, I like
Yeah.
movies like that where you just feel like
Okay.
everything's gonna be okay, and it's just like, nope, it's not okay.
But this one's different. Just the way they handled it at the end, it's just
Yeah.
yeah,
All right.
it's
No,
like a
no
slap in the
spoilers.
face, and you'll see what I mean when you watch it. Yeah,
All right, no
The
spoilers.
Mist.
I'll check it out.
Yeah,
No, I
but
love
bef
Thomas Jane. He was
yeah,
great in The Punisher.
but before you
You know.
watch that, I would recommend to watch The Villainous first.
Okay.
Yeah,
The
please
Villainous in
do.
the Mist. Yes, we'll do for sure. I love action films, man. I like action sci-fi as well too.
Mm.
So shame on Snyder, man. I they everyone's saying stop giving him money. Let him go back to a small budget film and reprove himself.
He's got his
'Cause,
signature look, right? The whole slow-mo thing, right?
yeah, too much slow mo, too much.
I love
300 was
slow-mo,
cool.
but he overdoes it, yeah.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of foreign directors overdo it. You'll watch a movie
Mm.
from Turkey and it's a slow-mo scene of people running and then guns being pulled out. And it's just, yeah. I've seen it in
Yeah.
India. A lot of Indian
Yeah.
films are using slow-mo, but it's just
Yeah.
overused for unnecessary reasons. So,
Hmm. Oh,
yeah.
have you seen that Indian film RRR?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I and
Okay.
yeah, and that film it was a good action film, you know.
Yeah.
Um even though I'm not the biggest fan of the comedy style that kind of
Mm.
comes,
And the
whatever, because
dancing?
they get very cheesy to the point where it's
Yeah.
just like it's worse than Taco Bell cheese. It's just very, you're pooping at this point. No, it's just it's it's okay. It's I think it's supposed to be family friendly. I think that's sort of the
Mm-mm.
approach for why they go so into the cheese realm deep.
Mm.
Um, yeah, but no, I love a good action movie, man. That's good. Yeah, slow mo in that is relevant. You know, it's fun. It's fun slow mo. So it just
Mm.
slow mo and comedy like that, action but comedy that works. That's
Mm.
cool. That's cool.
Okay.
And slow mo where the acrobatics is if you're doing something new, I feel like it's a little valid. If you're capturing something that's new, then it's okay. If you're doing a
Mm.
standard flip and then you need to do it in a slow mo, it's cheesy. You know, you do a Power Rangers like backflip, then it's all in slow mo, and then it's like, nah.
But you know, but it's fun. Like when you're shooting something at 1,000 frames a second, it's fun to watch the
It's
playback.
tempting. Yeah, it's
It
tempting to
is, it
keep it
is,
in.
it is, it is. It looks, you know,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
plus it's not easy to achieve because you need a whole lot of lights as well, and just to get the
yeah.
lighting correct. And yeah.
So if you nail the shot, yeah, if you nail the shot, then yeah, by all means, like, you know,
Mm,
if it's something you couldn't capture any other way, keep it. If it works and it sells, it sells. It's just
mm,
a lot of times I think intuitively you'll know if it's cheese, and they're like,
mm.
all right, no, this is like there's someone walking in a hallway and you just slow it down, and it's not necessary. It's just
Yeah.
but you would know it instinctively. You're editor, director, you
Mm,
know those type of things. So
yeah.
yeah. Um, I don't know. I think that's a lot of the movie news for this week.
Well,
Uh,
okay. I did mention Furiosa and your reaction seemed to be
Oh
like that, yeah.
yeah, yeah. So
I'll
um,
let you talk. Let you.
some people, I think I heard some people that went and saw some test screenings and they said it was good. So
Hmm.
I'm sure it's probably gonna be a good film. I'm just it's the Hollywood approach, like I said, of them trying to build the strong female archetype. I have no issues with females with guns
Hmm.
and kicking butt. Sarah Connor was cool because she was kicking butt, but she was doing it with heart because she wanted to save the planet. She wanted to save her son and she wanted to save the planet. She was fighting for something that was bigger than her being a girl boss. When they went to Terminator Dark Fate, they turned her into a girl boss. And it was all these subliminal jokes about
Hmm.
men, but it was more so coming from the lead girl who kind of replaced John Connor. Um, so I think a lot of the men that are in love with action films right now, we're so accustomed to them putting the lady in the lead with a gun that we're just kind of like, okay, we kind of know where this may go to a certain extent. We'll watch it. Hopefully, it's a good film and there's no politics in it. Um, but it's just like, you killed my family. Furiosa's in rage, and I'm gonna come and kill you. And you look at it's just in reality. You cannot suspend reality. There's no 5'7" blonde haired chick flipping over 6'3" dudes and taking them on. There's that's just not real. So that's just where it's like you have to have if they portrayed a girl that seems like she really came from some sort of struggle that's believable, maybe. But it's just you can't. It's hard to suspend reality.
But you don't think
Um,
Charlize Theron portrayed her character well in Fury Road? Because I found her to play that character pretty well, which is why they kind of followed
no,
on with
she
her
was good,
own.
but she was good, but it was done at a time where it wasn't trying to manufacture. Um, where in the entertainment industry, there wasn't a manufactured thing of like now we have to make we've casted her as a strong woman. It wasn't that. She was just playing a character. It suited.
Hmm.
It just suited. Where now the climate in Hollywood is we need to cast a strong female. And it's like, did we really need a prequel?
But George Miller did have the film Furiosa to be released before Fury Road, right? But he did a
I know I
switcheroo.
yeah, well I don't yeah, I know he was intending on directing it.
Hmm.
Yeah, like as far as like
So
switch it up. And he didn't did he direct this one or was
yeah,
this
he directed this one.
okay. Yeah,
So I'm
cuz
hoping it's a very organic approach than him
yeah.
following the trend, the Hollywood trend.
And it was a lot of CGI that was in it. So I was a little bit,
Yeah.
you know,
Um,
I don't it wasn't as much CGI in Fury Road.
I think the whole debate on the whole CGI thing was because Fury Road was majority of it was done on location, and that was a very difficult shoot as well.
Yeah.
So I think this
I
time
have
around, George Miller didn't want to go through, the same painstaking
yeah. Yeah, if
ordeal.
he's getting older in age and he can also save more in cost by opting otherwise.
But even Fury
Um,
Road, he was like 70 something already. So I
yeah, so he
mean,
would have been even
prop.
older by the
I
time
mean,
he
I
did
mean, props to him
Furiosa.
for.
Yeah. Um, but he knows his vision. He knows what he wants.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, and Charlize Theron stunt double was my stunt training coach, Dana
Hmm.
Grant. So I trained with her heaps, because she's a Kiwi. So she's yeah, she was Charlize Theron's stunt double. And I also worked with Tom Hardy's stunt double as well too. Jacob Timmer,
Yeah.
who's been with Tom since since that movie, since
Mm.
Fury Road. They've been working together, and so almost every project he's worked on stunt doubling for Tom. So right now they're I think they've just finished shooting Venom 3 stuff.
I don't
So
think
yeah,
I've
so
even
Jake,
seen number two. I've seen the first.
I couldn't watch it. I tried to watch the first one, just couldn't. It's too much CGI. I just couldn't. It's the thing is that it's all this Marvel stuff because of the amount of CGI they're using now. It's so
Mm.
obvious that I can't suspend the reality to like accept that, oh, this is actually a real thing. I see it and I saw the transformation. I was like, it's too, it's just too computer, you know?
Yeah, but I like the duality of, was it Brock, is it? I think the main character, Brock, and the Venom character. And it's kind of
Yeah,
like
there's
this,
symbiote.
yeah, it's kind of like this banter, like this it's kind it's I don't know, like I found it a bit different to the rest of the other Marvel films because they had a bit of comedy, but
Mm-hmm.
also Marvel. So I kind of like that approach. But yeah, but I understand the whole CGI thing.
Yeah,
But that Venom
some people
character's
liked
cool.
it.
Yeah,
Some people like that comedy mix, and then some people complained about it. They were just kind of
yeah.
like, it's it's gone on now for like 2 or 3 films, and they're like,
Mm-hmm.
it's to the point
Yeah.
where it's
Yeah,
like,
it
are
wears
you ever going
off.
to take the character a bit serious so we can feel some gravity
Mm.
to the situation? Because when it's too much comedy, I think the comedy idea was kind of cool, but I also feel like it was them trying to keep up with the Avengers thing as well too. It's sort of what messed up DC when DC went and did reshoots to add more comedy into Batman v Superman
Yeah. I
and
think there's a
Justice League.
yeah, I think comedy can be done if you do it properly. Like I like the first Ant-Man, their approach, like they added comedy and but it was part of the whole storytelling and I thought it was quite clever. And I think
Oh
a lot
yeah,
of
because it was
but that
tiny.
concept yeah, but that concept came I think originally from Edgar Wright, who was the original director for
Yeah,
Ant-Man. And then he
yeah,
left the project and
and it
yeah.
suits Edgar Wright because that's his thing, you know. So
Mm,
so the execution of that was good.
yeah.
But yeah, it was all about trying to make everything family friendly. Let's throw some jokes in it, make it PG-13, get some kids to buy some toys, you know.
Yeah.
But it takes away from the gravity of the um of the character, you know. So which I think Deadpool has a good balance of because it's comedy in it, but it's not so it's part of his character. It's who Deadpool is. So without the
Yeah.
comedy, it's just kind of it's not Deadpool. So it's a perfect sell because you can add all the blood and the brutality in it, but it doesn't feel like it's off because you know that's part of the character's like persona. I don't know if Eddie Brock in the cartoon, I mean in the comics, if he was comedic or the
I
symbiote
don't
was
know
comedic with
either.
him.
Yeah, I don't
I
know.
don't think I highly doubt it was, but um, but yeah, but it's
But
something to think about.
yeah, but I did like
Yeah.
that duality. Like he, like the Venom character will play in
Yeah,
his
yeah,
head,
yeah.
like
Dealing
he,
with this thing and the thing's trying
no,
to yeah, things just sitting in his face and yeah. That
yeah,
all that's entertaining. But
yeah,
I think it should have lasted maybe like a movie, you know, and then they've become one.
mm,
And maybe not in each subsequent sequel, it's still I'm going to battle with you about taking over your body. And it's like,
mm.
anyhow,
Did Tom
you
Hardy
know,
do the voice of Venom?
I have no idea. I have no idea.
Mm. If he did, I think he did an excellent job.
Yeah, yeah, if he
Yeah,
did, it's possible. You know, he did. I guess Bane's voice, so it's
yeah.
possible.
Bane's voice is
Um,
cool as well.
yeah,
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 not the best.
yeah.
I
So
mean, that was in a bad situation with the whole, with Heath Ledger passing
I
away, and
know.
then you just can't top the Joker. I mean,
No, and
yeah,
Heath was apparently supposed to be, you know, in the third film,
yeah,
and was going to be. I think they said he was supposed to be like pretty much a half of the film was going to be about him introducing whatever villain it was. And I think Bane wasn't the original villain. They were
Mm,
looking at the Riddler, which they eventually
mm,
did the Riddler for
yeah,
the other
for
Batman movie.
yeah.
Yeah. So so yeah, with Furiosa, I'm interested to see how that turns out. I just wish, like I said, it's just the climate in Hollywood where
Mm.
people see the female lady with a gun and it's a blonde haired chick, and we're like, oh god, again.
But
Just like
yeah, but it does give you hope knowing that George Miller is still directing it. So that
yeah.
there is that, and yeah, I mean, because for I think Fury came out in 2017, and that was my favorite film of that year, and that's the same year that Star Wars came out as well, like The Force Awakens,
Mm,
and yeah, that was a film I was highly anticipating, and then but Fury just was just so good when I watched it. And
yeah.
yeah, so I am
I
looking forward
wonder,
to Furiosa.
yeah. Um I wonder how well it'll do. I don't think it's gonna top Fury Road though. I think it'll do well, but I don't think it'll top Fury Road.
Well, they have bigger names, right? They have Chris Hemsworth and Anya Taylor-Joy already
I
there
still
too.
I still don't know anything by her.
I like
I know
her.
the name. No, I'm not saying I don't like
Uh,
her. I'm just saying I don't
uh,
remember her for anything.
Split. She was really good in Split. She was also good in that Edgar Wright film, Last Night in something. In
Oh, that last night in
yeah,
Soho.
yeah,
Yeah, that was the film with the other acting coach I worked with, Miranda Harcourt. Her daughter was in it.
yeah.
Um,
And she was in Queen's Gambit, the Netflix series.
yeah, some of these stuff I know about, but I just wasn't watching it because
Mm,
I was working on my own career.
mm. It's
I
pretty
think
good.
some people,
Like, yeah.
yeah, I think some people they it depends on what you're doing with like your your personal life, your business, and your time. So some people will spend time watching that. Some actors I know that are very like working on their career,
Mm,
they don't really watch a lot of the TV because they're too busy trying to work on their own thing. Um, and for some reason, I fit in that box where I can't. And plus, at the time when Queen's Gambit was out, there were so many shows that everyone was saying, "Hey, you need to watch this show," and there was
yeah.
too much shows. I'm like, I don't have time to watch all that, bro. Like,
I still haven't
don't get
watched
anything.
Game of Thrones. I only watched season
Yeah,
one.
same. I haven't watched any. Well,
Yeah.
I wasn't interested in it because I saw a trailer and I saw a lot of I was in, like I said, I was in Spartacus and I saw that they were copying the same formula. It was just violent sex,
Mm.
and but it just had books to it. That was the only difference. And
I was
I was like,
because yeah, because I was planning to binge watch until I heard that the last season was trash, and so I was like, I'm not gonna waste, hours watching the whole series.
to a
So
build up,
yeah,
yeah, to a
yeah,
build up and getting invested in characters, and then it just
yeah,
turns out to be like a flop in the belly
yeah,
flop in the water. Nah. But
yeah.
but yeah, man, I can't keep up with all the stuff. So sometimes there's actors and actresses that are a big deal apparently,
Mm,
but I don't know who who they are. I
yeah.
remember hearing about Zendaya, and I'm just like, Zen who?
No,
And
Spider-Man,
till this day I don't. Yeah, but
Doom.
she suited that part. She looks like a little young girl, so her
Mm,
playing Mary Jane and Spider-Man for diversity, that suited, but like from what I've heard, people feel like she's terribly miscast in Dune. Like she shouldn't have been
I think she was
the
okay.
love interest in Dune.
I'm just trying to think
She's got a
who
great
was.
she's got a great look,
Yeah.
but you're getting Disney performance out of her
Mm,
versus the other
I think she
cast.
was all right.
That was a critique Film Threat had gave it with Dune 2. They were just like, great film. They really love Dune 2. It was like the only thing they said at this point she feels miscast. Like she just shouldn't have been in that part. Looks good, but
I didn't think she had big like a big enough role to showcase a performance. So that's what I think.
Maybe, but I don't really know her for any groundbreaking performances either.
Mm.
So, I heard Euphoria was a good show, but I didn't know if it was because of her or because of the amount of sex and drugs that people kept referring to in the show. They're just like, oh, yeah, it's teenagers doing drugs and it's so raw and they do cocaine. And I'm like, we had that in the 90s with another movie called Kids, but okay.
Yeah.
So
that film
yeah.
scared the shit out of me.
What, Kids?
Just
Yeah. That
how
movie,
diseases can just
yeah, the HIV thing.
yeah, that
And
scared the shit out of me.
It felt real. It
Yeah.
felt real. Like if I see someone trying to replicate that now, I'm just like, yeah. It wasn't like that was in 95 was like the height of the like still AIDS and HIV epidemic. 93 was technically the height of like HIV AIDS, like being a big thing in the news. But yeah, that in 95 and the young kids and they have Rosario Dawson in it. Like I watched it, I was like, oh gosh, like I think that dude just got AIDS, bro. Like, oh, just like it was scary, man. That film scared me as well. But I think this generation doesn't know that type of like STI fear. Because that was real in those 90s movies. You see somebody get AIDS, you're like, oh shit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's happening in the next few weeks for you?
Next few weeks for me.
What's in the pipeline?
Well, quite a few different things at random. Because I was supposed to be shooting on a project with a mate, but he flew up. He was just in town, and he just dropped off my fog machine to me because I got a fog machine. I picked up one after we did our shoot down in Queenstown. I picked up a fog machine. Yeah, so now I have a fog machine.
Yeah, that died on our phone.
I know, dude. That thing was worthless, man. The one that I have now, I should have brought.
Yeah.
Yeah, that eco-friendly battery fog machine thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, but the one I have now, like, yeah. So anyhow, my mate he just dropped it off maybe about 2 hours ago. We were supposed to shoot this week, but he has to go back down to Hawke's Bay in New Zealand. He's coming back up I think next month, and we may shoot then depending on where I'm at. Right now, I may be going over to Gold Coast to shoot on Primitive War with
Gold Coast.
Spark. Yeah, so that's a sci-fi film that's like I said, it's like dinosaurs and predator mixed together. So it's dinosaurs but marines, and that's gonna be a big. Yeah, I mentioned that on one of our episodes. Yeah, so that's gonna be a big thing. Outside of that, I've did a screen test essentially for I don't know if I'm allowed to say it.
No,
but it's a TV show that I was in, and now they're doing a sequel to that TV show.
Okay.
Say that it sounds like Smartacus, but yeah, I think you might be smart enough to figure out what I just said. So yeah, so that helping out with my agent with a few different things. Doing some stuff for the pod, really, for Dudes Brewing, for here for Film Foo, working on some visual assets, make the episode very fun for everyone to check out.
Yeah, I want to do some dance moves for you.
Yeah.
Some doing like a shuffle on what moves are there that you could suggest?
What other than the shuffle?
Oh no, because I saw you do some breakdancing in one of your
videos.
Yeah,
I do all that stuff. I mean, but like while you're in a chair, you could just do like this.
Yeah.
You can do you can do your glide,
No, the Tobey Maguire, in Spider-Man 3.
No, just have fun, man. Just have fun. Yeah, anything. Just have fun, man. It's just grooving, and then
Spider-Man 3, Tobey Maguire.
Hey guys, I'm Ashua. This is my channel. Just give them the lowdown, all those things.
So okay, so so you want me to dance first and then say
The
my line,
dancing
or
is separate. Dancing is
okay,
separate.
okay,
I will clip it. You can do it all in one take if you want,
okay,
but I'll just clip it. Just groove and dance, do different things, and I'll clip it. That's all.
okay. Oh, there we go
Yeah. So
again.
it's all things for like the intro segment to make the show fun. These
Mm.
type of things. So it's not we're just uploading Zoom chats and you know,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
exactly.
which is fine, but I feel like we can make something. We're both creative, so I'm like we can
Yeah,
make
yeah, I
something
agree.
hip, hip and
Yeah.
cool. So yeah, all those little
People
things.
cool. Um,
Yeah. So do just deliver your spiel on your channel, be as charismatic as you want, or however you
mm-hmm.
feel, or as natural as you want. But it's YouTube, so YouTube, you sometimes you want to give people the energy, so you kind of give them a little boost, a little charisma, a little presentation.
Yep.
So yeah,
Cool.
make it fun for the viewers. Yeah. Um,
So I would say our next recording, I would say
yeah.
it would have to be Thursday if that's okay with you.
Yeah, it's all good.
And so
We can trim out the part,
yeah,
where
yeah,
we
yeah.
start to talk on the Matthew, yeah, thingy,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, but
and
no,
stuff,
but it's good you pointed it out. Like I was not aware, and now I am aware. No, but you learn, and yeah, it's good. Good you pointed it out,
Yeah.
and plus it's easier for the listeners as well. You know,
Yeah.
yeah. Um,
Yeah.
and so if you have the time,
Yeah.
uh, do check out The Villainous because I do want to know what your thoughts are on that film. And then we
Okay.
can talk about it on Thursday.
All right. All right. And
Yeah.
what's your thoughts on what's your plans in the next coming weeks? What's new with you?
Hmm.
This is a little add-on section. So what's
Yeah.
new with you in the
Yeah.
next couple of weeks?
I'm just waiting, eh? I received a few briefs and I'm
Some
pitching for
gigs,
like
gig jobs.
yeah, just two projects, but nothing is confirmed, eh? And there's one project I'm really waiting for, but that's just I've 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 done the like I've already handed in the treatment in
Yeah.
early March and I'm still waiting. Some
Oh,
internal budget reasons, but yeah, it's just been a slow start, but I'm hoping yeah, something comes through. Yeah,
yeah.
it's been a
Oh,
bit
and
slow.
when you give a spiel, a video thing, and you give a lay down about your channel and stuff like that, tell them about your book, man. You got a
Oh
book
yeah.
coming out. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm working on that. Like actually the book's done. It's just a
Yeah.
matter of setting up all the payment thing. It's a
Payment
bit tech
processors.
yeah. Yeah, it's a bit
Yeah.
technical.
Are you gonna do an ebook?
Yeah, so it's an ebook, but
Yeah.
just the payment like I just
Are you
need to
gonna
make
do
it
Audible?
what? Ah, Audible?
You're gonna do Yeah, do Audible. You want me to read? You want me to narrate it?
It depends. It depends on the sales. If
Okay.
if I yeah, like if I only get three people buying it, there's no point. But if I get like in the hundreds, then sure, I will
Yeah.
consider an Audible. But yeah, but like it was something that was not planned. Like it was more of a thing I wanted to test with AI. Like a lot of it I wrote, but I kind of polished it using AI, which
Yeah.
yeah, was kind of like an experiment and to see, oh, can I put a book together?
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, it's not a lengthy book. It's only like 40 pages, but I think it's 40 good quality, you know a good quality 40-page book which
Nice.
I think is good for a lot of young filmmakers, especially when I started off, I had no guide. I had no one in the industry to guide me or tell me what I should do, and like I wasted many years doing odd jobs, to get to where I'm at
Yeah,
today. So yeah.
bro. It's like that when yeah, without a roadmap on any of these things, actors go through something similar because I think most artists do to a certain extent. But
Mm,
you know, where we're doing odd jobs, not knowing if the footage is good, the director is good. We don't know how it's going to turn out. We're even worried if we're good as a performer.
mm,
So it's just like all these exterior factors, and you're like, okay, am I doing all this with a purpose? Am I curating all these things? Am I getting the footage together and making something with it? Like, what am I building here? Am I building a career, or am I just
mm,
relying on agent? Like, you know, so there's so many things because there's no one that really gives you any clear instructions about your career path.
mm. Yeah.
Where it's good you've nailed down a formula where you're like, okay, I can put this down in some written context and give people some sort of direction on, you know, how they can go about achieving their success as a
Mm,
commercial director, you know. So it's something I thought about doing. I actually thought about doing like a actor's master class and telling them
yeah.
the essential key steps, things they need to do to line themselves up, you know, prep
Mm,
themselves up for getting a career, heading to Los Angeles, things that you need to be weary of when you
mm,
go over there, you know, no Diddy.
yeah.
So yeah, yeah,
Cool,
things of that
cool.
sort. But that's awesome, man. You know, with the book, you know that you're doing that. So that's something in the works in the pipeline. While you know, in the interim, you're waiting to hear back on you know the commercial gigs
Mm.
and different projects that's coming up. So
Yeah,
yeah, man.
just trying to keep myself busy, doing these podcasts and
Episodes, yeah,
interviews.
and doing
Yeah,
creative things. Yeah, anything
yeah,
creative is always a plus. I mean, even down to you know, you having a chance to even look at Breathe and look at you know the
yeah.
script and ideas and flesh out things. Like I've kind of sent you over stuff like here and there. Yeah, I sent you something from like
Mm.
that one movie with Jordan Peele, but everybody else
Oh
the way
yeah.
he captured he shot the night sequences during the day, but they used this like blue hue
Mm.
to make it look
Yeah,
like it was at night because then people were
yeah.
wondering how he got all those night sequences um like so like lit in such a beautiful light and
He had two cameras actually. One was shooting infrared and one was shooting at normal. And so shooting
ah
infrared keeps all the detail still.
yeah
And so yeah, which was crazy good.
yeah
Yeah.
all of that is interesting to look at and think about with things so
Mm.
yeah man but
Yeah, so we'll see how that book goes. If it does well, I plan to do another book, and
yeah
who knows, I might end up being a an author at the end of the day.
but you are one you
Yeah,
completed a book
yeah, but I'm not Michael like Crichton or
well who's to say you know you don't need to be James Patterson or some you know
Yeah.
crazy novelist dude all the time it's like
Well, it
you're
could
just
be with
expanding
AI. I'll just write down the
yeah
premise and then boom.
but you're still expanding on your creativity it's
Hmm.
still
Yeah.
something fleshed out from your head that you decided to try that and yeah
Hmm.
uh, um yeah it's a good thing to do something like that and you can make adjustments into the writing and things of that sort and then make it your own you know but
Hmm.
it's an easier way to complete something so why not you know a lot of directors now are AI generating scripts and then they're just going in and changing some of the details and
Yeah,
making it
yeah.
their own type of
Yeah.
way. As long as you get the project going and moving, you know, that's
Hmm.
all that matters, you know, and it
Yeah.
makes it easier to pitch and try to get it funded and get something
Sure.
as soon as possible going for something, you know.
Hmm. Oh,
Yeah.
5% of my 5% my battery.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. All right. All
So
right. We're chatting up. All right.
I'll see you on Thursday, hopefully. And
Yeah.
yeah, and I'll send you all that stuff, me dancing and giving you my spiel.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Until
Yeah.
then,
Let me.
yeah.
Awesome. All right.
Laters.
Sure, brother. Latest.
I'll do a little Spider-Man just for you. Okay, please don't use that.